Silence in court! Today is the day of the decision whether or not if Joe Biden will be charged of an assault on turkey giving 2 weeks ago against throwing a pie at the RSV President Donald Trump. Today is the day we'll find out if Joe Biden is proven guilty or not guilty. So right now, further ado, I want to invite at least 5 people here on court today to express and talk to this court about this decision, about if Joe Biden is guilty or not guilty. And to do that, we'll listen to the people what they think was right or wrong about that. So, further ado, I want to introduce right here, right now, a special friend of Joe Biden. He is Barack Obama. Mr. Obama, we all know that you knew Joe Biden for at least 20 years. Is that correct? Yes, ma'am. And do you believe that he did the right thing by throwing a pie at Donald Trump's face? I think that he did the right thing. Why is that, Mr. Obama? Because you feel that Donald Trump is a dictator. Donald Trump's a guy who thinks that he's one step of the way in the RSV. He wants to ruin people's livelihoods. But Joe Biden, however, he wants peace. And I really hope that he gets out from this charge of court. I believe he was innocent, and I believe that he threw a pie at Trump on turkey giving night as the country was provoked by Trump. And I think Joe Biden did the right thing, in my opinion, and stepped up to the greater good and actually threw a pie at his face for that particular reason. And I believe that that man wants peace, and Trump doesn't want peace. He wants trouble. And I do believe that having Joe Biden out of this court will be beneficial for all of us to have him as not discharged from what he did to Trump on turkey giving night a couple of weeks ago. Thank you very much there, Mr. Obama, for coming here. You're welcome, ma'am. And that was Joe Biden's close friend who was interviewed here by court, Barack Obama. Now, let me get here on this court right now. Let's get Demon Kane. Demon Kane, what's your thoughts about Joe Biden? As Joe Biden could be discharged here today, if you convince yourself that he's the right man to be out of the court of law. I think the opposite, Judge. Why is that? Because I believe that Trump was laughed at, mocked at, when he threw a pie at his face on turkey giving night. There was no need for him to be thrown a pie at by a man like Joe Biden. I know how it feels to be laughed at. You see, this is why I wear a face mask all my life. Because when I was a little kid, my brother, The Undertaker, set me on fire. And I had to wear this mask all my life to this day on what he did to me. Now, I know how it feels to be laughed at. I know how it feels to be insulted. Demon Kane chooses that Trump should press the charges on Joe Biden, and I feel that old wrinkly man on the left should be found charged by court for what he did to Donald Trump on turkey giving night. It's unacceptable for our leader to be assaulted like how I was assaulted many years ago. People laughed at me. Even at school when I've been bullied, everyone laughs at me. How I look, my scars in my face when I was burning that fire by my older brother. And I really hope you, Judge, make Joe Biden guilty for what he did to Donald Trump 2 weeks ago when he threw that pie at him. That's all I gotta say. At least some people are behind me in this court of law to get you down for what you did to me in that pie. Shut up in court of law, Donald Trump. Sir, okay, I'm sorry, you're okay. You better be quiet, or otherwise your suspect who threw that pie at you 2 weeks ago will be set free if you keep your mouth stum. Anyways, apart from my little rant at the RSV president for not keeping his mouth shut, let's get someone else here today to be talking to us on the court of law about how to get me convinced that Joe Biden isn't a guilty man leaving the court of law here today. And that person will be coming here right now to be our guest to do this speech in this court of law to try and convince me otherwise, and that is going to be this man known as Comic Book Guy. Comic Book Guy, do you believe that Joe Biden is very innocent for what he did to Donald Trump 2 weeks ago on Turkey Giving Night when he threw a pie at his face? I think he is the right man to leave this court right now, Judge. Why do you think that? Tell me and convince me why you think Joe Biden, and why should I allow him to leave this court with no discharge? Because I believe that he had nothing wrong. He did the right thing when he threw a pie at Trump. Even I would if I had the guts. This man is the biggest abuse of power as authority here in the RSV, and I am so happy that someone's got the balls to actually confront Mr. Trump and confront our issues in this nation, telling us, even me, I'm overweight and I can't go to war and fight members of the troops in another nation. That ain't gonna work for me. The thing is, I suffer with diabetes, and I've got severe medical conditions. And even your defense secretary, Trump, said that everyone should have to go to war apart from sports athletes. Dictator, in my opinion, and I want to make sure we have change. And if we sentence and put him down, Joe Biden, for just throwing a pie at Trump, I think everyone would throw a pie at Trump. I think that is a disgrace if he does go down, because this man has done nothing wrong and he wants peace. He wants us to be equal, be civil. He's a civil man, he is. And if we have him sentenced down, then that'll be it for the Republican people. And he is the last resort, the last hope we've ever have to try and make this nation as peaceful, and no wars, no fights, all because of what Trump wants. This is what Trump wants. He wants war. He demands war, but we don't want it. And I hope that this court of law today, that Joe Biden is being discharged from the court of law today. And I mean today. Thank you for your words, Mr. Comic Book Guy. Thank you, Judge. Another person is coming here right now to be our next part of the court of law to discuss about convincing me on getting Joe Biden out of the court of law by no discharge or no sentencing. He is a multi-millionaire. Trump will probably know who he is. Vincent K. McMahon. Vincent K. McMahon. You've got a good relationship with Mr. Donald Trump through the years, but you're here in the court of law to say, why do you want Joe Biden out of court without no discharge? Tell me why you think that, or you're going to be like Kane and back Trump. In fact, that's a no. I will not back Trump whatsoever for what he did to me 13 years ago at WrestleMania, when he shaved my head bald in front of the millions and millions of people, and that was humiliating. in the battle of the billionaires. And I wished in my dreams, and since I wake up every day, that Trump's hair is bald, shaved off. And do you like Trump? No, I don't like Trump whatsoever. That guy is an orange man piece of poo, and I'm glad that Joe Biden threw a pie at his face. Really? Yes, really. And also, why do you believe that Joe Biden should be out of this court of law with no discharge? Because he did the right thing. Even I probably wouldn't do that. Maybe I'm the boss man, but he had more balls than I have, and he had no chance in hell that I'll probably throw a pie by law against Trump. But he did. He did the opposite that I couldn't do. And I'm glad that he stepped up to the plate and threw a pie at his face on Turkey Giving Night to show and prove a point that we have a say. We don't want war with another nation. We want peace. Because if it was in my world, Donald Trump, I've got 2 words for you. You're fired if you work for me. Okay. Thank you very much, Vincent McMahon. It seems like it's more people want Joe Biden to be out of the court of law, it seems, Mr. Trump. And it doesn't look like you're going to win this court case. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. This guy's going to prove a lot of points against our government about war. Oh my God. But don't worry. We've got one last person is going to be here on the court of law, because that person is the guy who hosts the Miz and Morrison show with his friend John Morrison. It's only one of them will be here in the court of law, and that is the Miz. So Miz, come out right now and address about why and convince to me that Joe Biden isn't a bad crook for throwing a pie at Trump's face on Turkey Giving Night. The Miz, tell me why you want Joe Biden out of this court of law of no discharge. Because the thing is that Trump wants to order us as fathers to actually leave our own family and ditch them and go to war because he tells us to. The thing is, that got on my nerves a couple of months back when I had an argument with the Defence Secretary Bill Hamilton. And to be fair, Joe Biden is the man who will help us all save our nation from having a big crisis next year. I really want to come here today and have my say. Trump thinks that he is about him. This world we're in is all about him. Well, I don't want nothing to do with him. But the thing is, if I say no, I get fined. I get into prison for refusing what the government orders me or orders all the Republican dads around and men around the whole nation to go to war with Russia. I find it unacceptable. And I want change. And I believe if we have Biden going down here today, that's going to cause issues in going into war next year. We need him out to really give us a say on perhaps end war, cancel the war, and make sure the petitions that he's promoting across the whole nation is a no war. And I really hope that really happens. If we want to silence him and put him away into prison, that ain't going to be good for the Republican people. We need someone to represent us in the hardships and the bad times we might go into in 2 months' time from now. I don't want to go to war with Russia and put my life at risk or any other person in the whole nation's life at risk. We're a happy nation. And Trump wants to make it miserable because the whole government thinks that they are the bosses. But they're not, unfortunately. All because what Trump wants. He's obsessed with Russia. If he wants a problem with Russia, what about he goes and fights them himself? Not having all the ordinary livelihood people to come out and fight for him. That ain't going to happen. And I want Biden out today. And I'm pleading you, Judge, I plead you, please give Biden a chance. We need society to change. The good and the better good. So please, I beg you, get him out of court of law here today. Don't listen to what Trump will do. Don't listen to his briberies he probably might do behind our backs. Because that man is not important in this nation. What's people, what they want. And I believe that having this change here today, getting him released, because we put him in the court because he threw a pie at his face on Turkey Giving night. Even I could do the same thing I could if he was in my doorstep, he would have done. Don't care if I get the law on me like he's having right here, right now. I want change. And I hope Biden is the change for our nation going forward. That's all I've got to say. Thank you very much, Mr. Miz. You can be dismissed now. Let's now make the final decision on what I choose what's going to happen to Joe Biden. Will Joe Biden get discharged by my authority, or will he not be discharged and he can be free out and do whatever he wants? So I've decided by the RSV law, the Act of 1873 Act of Law of Judge Authority, I have decided that Joe Biden will not be guilty and will not be fined for assaulting Trump with a pie thrown at his face. There's a loads of angry Republican people that Trump feels that he's brainwashed himself as they feel that they're happy with him. But they're clearly not. And even as a judge myself, as this country's going forward, I believe that this is a no for me, Trump. You can bribe me, you can do anything, but that ain't going to change. I've decided from today that Joe Biden will be released. He'll do what he wants and what he can do to save our nation. Throwing a pie is not a really offence, in my opinion. I think it's justice that people deserve to want to see from this democracy in this nation. So people like you should leave right now, Trump, because Biden will be released. And there's your winner. Joe Biden wins the court of law right now.